is beeping.
You want to just do it again?
No, that was so good. Hi everybody, and welcome to Man Cake, where we play before we eat and always look at the bowl. My name's Dan, and today we're going to be making mini pumpkin pecan donuts. They're going to be delicious. Then we're going to do some delicious homemade maple syrup, and they're going to be so good. I'm probably going to eat like 10 of them, or all of them. I don't know, but I might share with you guys. If you're new to the channel, be sure to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you know when brand new recipes are available, which, if you don't know, is going to be weekly. So, preheat your oven to 350 degrees and let's get started. Now that we have our oven preheated to 350 degrees, we can go ahead and start working on our donut batter. So, let me tell you what you're going to need. 8 ounces of pumpkin, 2 eggs, a half cup of vegetable oil, 1/3 cup of water, cold or hot, I'm using cold, 1.5 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cups of flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon of salt, a half teaspoon of cinnamon, a half teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now, we just put them all together and get those donuts going. So we're gonna start by cracking both our eggs into our mixing bowl. Then, we're gonna add our cinnamon, our nutmeg, our ground cloves, our salt, our baking soda, our oil, our sugar, and our pumpkin. And now, because I kind of like a clean kitchen, I'm just gonna go ahead and scoot all this away and then get right back to our batter. Now that we have all of our main ingredients, except our flour and our water, we're gonna go ahead and mix these all up on a low-medium speed in a stand mixer using a whisk attachment. Once they get all combined, then we're gonna go ahead, add our flour and our water. So let's go ahead and get these on the mixer. And again, using that low-medium speed. We're gonna mix for about 2.5 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and add our 2 last ingredients, water and our flour. So let's go ahead and add our water and our flour. With our water and our flour, we want to mix on a low speed until just combined, being mindful not to overmix. Go ahead and use that low speed. It's like my little mix and dance. Now that our batter is kind of lightly combined, we'll go ahead and use a spatula to really scrape down the sides, or as Julia Child says, around the sides and cut the middle. This way we can make sure any loose flour that may have sunk to the bottom still stays within the batter. So let's go ahead and lift up our mixer. So now we'll go ahead and just scrape. And there's our donut batter. Now, we gotta put it in the pans and get these baked. So let's go ahead and get these ready. So what I'm gonna use is I'm gonna go ahead and just use a standard spoon. Just fill up the donut pans a little less than half to give the donuts enough room to rise, but not to rise over to where they close on the top. This way we still kind of get that nice little donut hole. Let's go ahead and just scoop it in. Now that we have our first cake done, or our first donut pan done, we can go ahead and put this to the side while I work and fill up the other 3. So I'll be right back. Now that we have our donut pans all filled with our batter, go ahead and give them a couple taps on the counter. Nice and hard and aggressive. I usually do about 3 or 4. Now, all you do is just toss them in the oven and bake for about 10-15 minutes. And start checking them around the 10-minute mark. And they should start to be puffed up and actually almost ready to go. Nice and quick. So let's go ahead and start baking. While those are baking, we can go ahead and start on our maple syrup glaze for the donuts and our pecan toppings. So for the glaze, all you're gonna need is just powdered sugar and maple syrup. Super easy, super simple, and super yummy. So let's go ahead and get our powdered sugar and our maple syrup. The clean bowl, 2 cups powdered sugar, and 3 tablespoons of maple syrup. Then just go ahead and give that a nice good mix to get our glaze going. Now depending on the kind of maple syrup you are using, you may need to use a little bit more. And if that's the case, just add it in a tablespoon at a time, which I'm gonna have to do. Go into our secret baking pantry, cabinet, cupboard, what is it called?
Cupboard.
Cupboard. And again, doing it at a tablespoon at a time. Or just eye it up, because you can always add more powdered sugar or more maple syrup. Let's just throw a little more. We might have to put some elbow grease into it. And we'll just thin it up with a little bit more. And maybe just a tiny splash more. Don't mind if I do. And there it is. Our maple frosting. Still nice and thick, but still runny enough to where it's gonna cover the donut and really let the pecans stick to the donut. So now that this is good, we're gonna go ahead and move this to the side. Now, onto my favorite part. All we really need to do is take 2 cups of pecans, a rolling pin, and a plastic sandwich bag. So let's go ahead and grab those. Now what I do is I put my pecans in a sandwich bag, make sure all the air is out, this way it doesn't pop when you're banging it. Just throw it on the counter and give it a bang. And there we go, crushed pecans. Now, let's go ahead and check on those donuts. So, as I'm sure you're noticing, different kind of lighting right now. I'll admit, kind of got distracted with a little bit of Mario Party, and next thing I knew, it was 1:30 in the morning. So, here we are, in the daylight, but donuts are cool. Now we can start getting ready to get them glazed, covered in pecans, and just eat them all up. We can go ahead, take our cool donuts. Now, you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either just dip them in the glaze, or if you have a brush or a spoon, however you want to get that maple glaze onto the donuts, completely up to you. So we're going to try dipping first. Just plop them in. Ooh, that's sticky. That doesn't work. We'll just eat that later. So let's go ahead, take 2, put our donuts on our serving plate, and then we'll cover with the maple glaze. So, backtrack a little bit. Donut's cool on the serving plate. Good thing I put that aluminum foil down in case that didn't work out. And now our maple glaze. So go ahead and use your spoon and just kind of give it a nice little mix and start on the donuts. We'll go ahead and try to do a little dollop on each of them, and we'll just spread it around with a spoon after. Our glaze, covering our donuts, we can go ahead and throw our pecans on top. We'll just go ahead and sprinkle them, but try to make sure they get into the frosting, just to make sure they stick to the actual donut. And depending on how much you like pecans, if you're a nutty kind of person, a little too much or a little too little, it's all up to you. And if you find that you have too many pecans left over, go ahead and just set them aside. And when you're ready to make muffins, you can go ahead and click that little eye up above and make some maple pecan muffins. They're gonna be delicious. We're just gonna go ahead and move those to the side and save those for later. Here are our maple pumpkin pecan donuts. They look absolutely heavenly. I'm gonna have to go eat one now. I was gonna eat the one that we kind of messed up on the first try, but the ones with the nuts, Who they're just speaking to me. Which one? Let's go with this guy right here. We'll go ahead and get that nice break. I'm back at a crossroad. I don't know which one to eat first. This is where it's at. This is October right here. Just fast forward to the 31st and we're done. These are gonna go great with coffee in the morning. If they last that long. Are there any desserts or recipes you'd like to see? Let me know down in the comments below. And when I say let me know, I mean really let me know. Because, and yes, I've been holding these in my lap the whole time. I've got so many recipes. I can never decide which one to do week to week to week. Sometimes I'm going crazy covered in recipes. What is it? Cakes, breads, loaves, muffins, cupcakes, cookies, pies, bars, you name it, they're in here. There's at least 300. Seriously, let me know. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you know when brand new recipes are available. And until next week, bye.